There you go.
You know you have a good theme to your podcast when just about everybody before we even get started on the podcast is like rocking out, air guitaring, or air drumming, I might add. Yes, very good point. Hey, good Saturday morning. This is the A Game. I'm Rob Acampora, live from the Shared Universe Studios here on the Jersey Shore. And we talk about the A Game. It's about people who do achieve their goals in many different forms. And today we go into the music form. One guy I know, one guy I sort of know, and then there's this strange lady sitting with who I will introduce. So I would like to thank you for the nice surprise. First off, to my right, in the upper right-hand corner, is a man who I happen to have known almost since childhood because I know his parents really well. But Matt Fernicola happens to be the vice president of Telegraph Hill Records. And down bottom is the man who is the founding member. And Joe, I apologize. I had it the other way around when I was plugging this on Facebook. So I apologize to you. No disrespect. As you want
anywhere without Fern.
Yeah,
that's not true. He called me, was like, "What are you talking about?" No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, Joe, again, I want to, publicly apologize for that. So we'll get to your story in a second. But the lovely young lady you have brought with you, a very nice surprise. One of the ladies on your label who is a Jersey girl via Nashville, if I got that straight, Ashley McKinley. Thanks for being the surprise guest on this thing. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on last minute.
Absolutely. I got to start with you, Matt, because I know you more than the other two in this situation, but we've talked many times before. For people who don't know, Christian, let's just put the logo up there, number one. And this is, first off, great logo. If you've ever been to Philly to the Gallery Mall, this is sort of their homage to the same font that the Gallery Mall used to have in Philadelphia. I don't know if that was the intention, but I always have loved it. Totally a coincidence. I love it.
That's fine. I had a designer, Flesh and Bone Designs. They designed it for me a couple years ago, actually. Just sort of said retro label feel, and they sent me a couple mock-ups.
It works, and that's exactly what it is. It is that total retro feel, and you actually have some merch to go to their website and get some of their merch and support the label that way. That's a good way of doing it. Now, Matt, how did you hook up with Joe? How did this whole thing come about? Because, you think about, okay, you want to be a musician, but then you decide, you know what, we'll take it in a different direction. Not only will I be a musician, I'll start my own label. Why not?
Oh my God. All right. Well, definitely doesn't happen on your own. That's the first thing that I tell everyone. Like, I'm a very, very big person of like power in numbers. I like getting the collective energy. So when it comes to my own music, I have a lot of players on it. And when I come to any creative project, there's a whole bunch of videographers to work with, photographers, dancers, musicians, artists, painters. Like, yeah, just like the collective energy is awesome. But Pom has been my day one. I met Joe Pomarico in 6th grade math class. It was Halloween, and I came in as a guitar player. I just wore a leather jacket and held the guitar. And Pom came in as a songwriter. He had like a whole book of songs that he told me he wrote. Turns out a whole bunch of songs his uncle.
They were my uncle. But he played in a band with Matt O'Ree.
There it is.
Matt O'Ree.
He's
been a guest on my podcast, as a matter of fact.
I was trying to get the band I would start to play those songs, but Fern turned out he was an original songwriter and only he just wrote crazy music even back then. So it was like, let's work on this. We recorded a demo in the basement I'm in right now on a little tape machine, one of his like early love songs. He kept.
It was a really bad song.
Though.
Yeah, I haven't stopped writing love songs. I'm writing one for all of you in this Zoom chat right now. Not true. Maybe it's true. But so Pom and I met in 6th grade. And we just kind of played music from there, went into high school playing in a bunch of bands. I kind of went the route of wanting to be like a studio guitarist, like a session guitarist and a performer, and went the route of wanting to be a mixing engineer. And that's kind of like how our two paths have verged like this. And then after we both graduated from college, well, we wanted to be able to bring it to the next level. So Pom had the idea of turning all these recordings that we've done into more of like a label and bringing in other artists and working with our friends in the scene and just kind of expanded from there. But it's been something we've been doing for 20 years now. Wow. Palm, I met you when I was like 9 or 10.
13.
So,
well, that 12th grade was when I started getting into music. 12
12th
years
grade.
old. Sorry, 12 years old. And
okay, so 18 years. I've been playing music with this guy for 18 years straight in various forms.
Yeah. It's a long time.
Joe,
it's a very long time.
It is a very long time. But Joe, to take the leap into doing your own label, I mean, you had to have an idea of like going, it's not going to be as easy as it would seem, because you're somebody who actually does work as an engineer with Atlantic Records. So you sort of have a little bit of an insight of what goes into an album, what goes into recording. And maybe from the business sense, you had an idea of, okay, I think I know what goes into a label, but at the same token, diving head first into it.
Oh, no,
diving is a strong word.
Yeah, we had no.
I think face planting at first.
I mean,
no, we had no clue.
I'm kind of still like learning what it is, and it's ever evolving. Just the landscape's always changing in the music industry, especially now, and you know, just trying to figure out how we can apply what's on that cutting edge to what's happening down by the shore with all of our friends, and you know, it's just like we're doing great music too. Why can't we get noticed?
Well, I think that's an interesting question, because getting noticed is always the thing that you want, because in the industry, and for people who don't know, this is where I think the industry has changed, and I think you guys will agree with me. It's not necessarily about gigging out, although gigging out is important because it's going to put some money in your pocket for the bands. But it is about, okay, how do we get it on streaming services? How many hits on YouTube are we going to get? And by doing so, how does this get the attention of potentially getting another label to help us out and take our label to another level?
Yeah.
I mean, I get to work with so many different people in the business, and I would just want to show them all the music constantly, but you know, you can't do that. Like, it's kind of difficult. You just have to do your own path, and people will notice when they want to listen to something or they want to go through a show. Like, you're not going to force it on people,
right?
You know, it's got to be natural.
Well, I remember, what were we in California, 2017, and Joe was like, yeah, we were there for NAM. What is NAM?
NAM is something else.
Yeah. No, that's not. Nan's a bread. Let's get that.
Nan, exactly.
No, the gear convention.
The gear convention for music in California. And he was like, I think I'm going to start my own label.
Yeah.
And he was like, I've got to tell everyone what's going on in Asbury. Like, it's so cool. There's so much talent. And I was like, yeah, do it, dude. Like, it's crazy. But it's like, it really happened. You know, people talk all the time, but they did it.
And
a big part of it.
No, go ahead.
Well, just to finish it, was a big part was I did go to grad school and figured out, like, how can we make a business plan for what would be a record label and not just kind of throwing money at things, which sometimes we tend to do.
Yeah, we haven't. That's all we do. Business. What are you talking about? That's it.
And speaking of that education, I know for a fact, Matt, you did Berkeley. I mean, you're no slouch. You did the Berkeley School of Music, which is one of the...
It was fun.
Yeah, I mean, so you learned probably not only the musicianship, but you had to learn a little bit about the music business just through your education as well.
Yeah, I learned definitely like a little bit. I focused more on like arranging and performing. That was like what really got me going. But I definitely took some business 101 classes, learned the difference between publishing and master recordings. Or really, that's like, you're going to learn one thing as an artist, understand that there's two different things between your recording and your song. It takes a lot of people to understand, like, all right, are you going to license your song? Mm-hmm. Are you going to license your recording? Are you licensing both? There's two different revenue streams. Like, I've had that conversation like at least 1,000 times in my life with different up and coming musicians, because they just don't understand it. No one tells you when you're growing up those kind of little things. So yeah, definitely Berkeley definitely helped me out a lot. What it really did was connect me with a lot of cool musicians and just get me to play better music. Like, I'm a way better musician because of it, which is I'm so grateful for. Like, it was awesome.
Fern knows an insane amount of theory. He's like a wizard when it comes to harmony and just
I like theory.
Musical theory, composition. Like,
It's like math to me. I am also a wizard. That's true. I like Harry Potter and Game of Thrones.
Ashley, now I'll circle it back to you. What convinced you to kind of go, all right, I'm going to hook up with these two crazy guys and actually, get my release out that way?
I mean, they're awesome. They're like my best friends out here, and I released it when I was I still live in Nashville. I released it last year?
Yeah,
last
little over a year now
with the compilation, and Telegraph is just doing so much, and I love the Asbury Park music scene. Like, I grew up playing it, so I wanted to support it. Because I'm in Nashville. I'm finishing college right now. I go to Belmont University, so I'm there for songwriting and music business.
And Ashley, if I can interject, Belmont is one of the few universities in this country when it comes to music management and label management. They actually offer that as a major. So obviously you're in the right spot as far as that goes.
Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot, and there's a lot of opportunities, like with internships, and they pretty much hand in hand, like, put you in touch with the music industry and at least, like, show you how to be in it, what's the etiquette, like Fern was saying, like, what's the difference between a master recording and a sound recording and all those revenue streams.
Good stuff. We are with the brain trust of Telegraph Hill Records here on the A Game. They are a label that deserves your attention. We are going to do a little bit of a spotlight of some of their artists while we have them here. And as a matter of fact, Ashley, I'm going to put you to work if that's okay. Maybe not right this second. What I'll do is I'll play a video, and then you get enough time to maybe grab a guitar. And you game for that?
I'm game.
Fair enough. That's what I like to hear. All right, so this is where I get to play VJ, which I don't get to do that often, which is good, but I'll have to lean on my boys here to give me some background information. As a matter of fact, to get this part started, let's bring you a new video. This band just released their video probably within the last 24 hours on YouTube. I will say this. You want to talk about a video that is absolutely hilarious, a lot of fun, and the cooking channel to pay attention to. Give me the rundown of the Hell Yeah Babies, guys.
Oh, well, dude, Hell Yeah Babies rule. They're four guys. They're actually one of the, just like Ashley, one of the few people that aren't in Asbury currently. They're in, like, Queens and Astoria. Mm-hmm. But they rule. They're really good with their content. Like, music, they're great, but, like, the extra content is just hilarious. They do a monthly stream called I Want My HYB, which is like a music video MTV stream, but they put a lot of skits and humor into it. We're working on an album with them right now. This music video came out like yesterday. They have another single, Generation Shark, going to be released soon also. So they got a lot of stuff in the works, and they're just a fun group of guys, man. You're in the room with them, and you're not looking at your phone. You're enjoying the energy in the room.
Go ahead, Pom.
Always checking them out. They would play a lot of shows in the city, so when I was living there, I was just, like, hopping out, and, you know, there'd be a lot of Jersey bands that would be on the bill. Like, the Burns used to play with them, Connor Bracken used to play with them, and so you'd see, like, this kind of community sense tapping into the Asbury and city bands kind of connecting, and a lot of them are from New Jersey area too, so it's kind of like they're just part of the family here now.
Good stuff. Love the title of the song. By the way, when you pay attention to the video, check out some of the interesting food concoctions they have decided to create in the creation of this video. Here is the debut of the Hell Yeah Babies. This is Mexican Coke here on the A Game with the guys from Telegraph Hill Records. Check it out.
Text you, but it bummed me out. I found your sweater with a cat on the front. It kinda fit me, so I kept it for now. I can't just sit on my fingers. It's been a bad week in a minor chord. Now it's 3 in the morning. I got a Mexican Coke and unlimited porn. What can I do? All my friends are starting to get their shit together. What can I do? You're gone to California and I don't even miss you at all. Yeah, I don't miss you at all. China
exclusively unfriend me on Facebook. And I'll take your cat sweater to the Goodwill. It's the perfect postmodern fairy tale. What can I do? All my friends are starting to get their shit together. What can I do? You're gone to California and I don't even miss you at all. Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye.
Yeah, dude, man, those guys just rule. They're just that funny, like all the time. Like if you enjoyed that video and you're watching from home, check out their HYB series. It's like
Furnace,
it's really
if they are like that, they're stars in the making, because I think in this YouTube generation that we are in, when you're creating videos like that, you can't help but get attention. It's just a matter of, hey, if you like it, find it on YouTube, share the love on this one, because I think the more people watch this, you're going to get a kick out of it. It's called Mexican.
Yeah.
It's from the Hell Yeah Baby. It's part of the lineup of Telegraph Hill Records. The creators of the label, Matt Fernicola, who known as Fern, Joe Pomarico, known as Pom, who's away from the couch. Way to go, Joe. We figured it's time for you to be here, and you're gone. You're on vacation.
He's
Matt,
right over there.
He's right over there. Okay, well, we'll get him in a second. While we're delaying, let me ask you this. When it comes to this label, I think every indie label, I think at some point starts to think, can we get scooped up by a major? And the reason here's something that happened 2 days ago. If I got photo number 6, Christian, this was announced on Billboard magazine. Sony acquires a top Brazilian indie label for $255 million. Now, I'm not saying you guys are going to get $255 million, but we've also seen a trend over the last few decades. Even a great indie label from the 90s, like Sub Pop Records, which produced Nirvana, which produced Soundgarden, which did Mudhoney. At some point, they wind up getting picked up by a major. As a matter of fact, 49% of the label was picked up in 1995. I think it was Atlantic that actually picked them up. And the Shins became a part of that label. So we've seen indies merge with majors in one percentage way, shape, or form. And the bottom line is, and I think this is something you guys probably do understand more as you're getting your education, what a major does, and for people who don't know, it will get your material out to the masses a little easier. It will help you, the artist, with a little more tour support. So there is advantages to being a part of a major. Would you agree?
Yeah, there's advantages and disadvantages to everything. Like an advantage is just getting handed a huge advance and saying, yo, kid, here's a hell ton of money. Sure. Do what you want with it. But like, and then you don't, let's say you create music that the label doesn't want. Like there's a lot of, it's a back and forth. So I've also been back and forth with it. Like Palm and
I think an ideal, so you're talking about a hand of money, like it would even just be good to just get from like the support of a label, just like allowing us to use a space to produce stuff or equipment, all that kind of stuff. It's just like that support is what they're there for, to kind of boost music out, as a whole. So if we can get part of that, or just be working with them and benefits them too, where maybe we're showing more artists that are developing to them that they'd have more of an interest in, that would be more suited for them, as opposed to maybe this more local level label. We can try to like be sort of this incubator type vehicle to help launch people's careers a little bit to them. That I think is truly the goal with this, and maybe a chunk of money, but there's never any money.
Tom, to defend your point as far as the local part is concerned, I mentioned Sub Pop before from the 90s. They were based in Seattle. They were getting a lot of Seattle-based bands. And I can think of another indie label called Discord Records, who are based out of D.C. They were targeting bands literally from the capital region. So it seems like when it comes to indie labels, the starting point usually has to be localized, and then you kind of spread out from there. And Ashley, you coming on board obviously gives them a Nashville-based artist. So it takes them outside of, let's say, the bubble that you're in Asbury Park, and hopefully grows beyond. And that's got to be what it is, this natural growth where it goes, okay, we started in Asbury. We now go to the tri-state area. Now we have an artist in Nashville. Now if we can grow it beyond that and continue to grow, hopefully the payoff will happen.
Yeah, I mean, but for us, like, the way that we do that plan is to start with the Asbury connection.
Correct.
Yeah, Ashley is totally in Nashville right now, but we met her in Asbury. We work with this one Montana artist, Luke Dowler, but like it's not like we just reached out to this person randomly. He came to Asbury. He toured a little bit of the circuit. Like I played bass for him on a whole bunch of songs. We played like 7 or 8 shows, and then we get him into the studio. So like for us, currently the idea is to find these artists that has the connection with Asbury Park and kind of grow from there. But like if we can get people that are passing by that like fall in love with the town and become part, and that can like help us branch out like that, yeah, that'll be great. We definitely want to be expanding always, for sure.
How important was it to get a name? And I'm going to put up photo number 4, because no matter how you slice it, his name, without question, number 4, Christian, there he is, Jared Clemens. And obviously his background with being Clarence Clemens' son, it gave your label a little bit more attention outside of the Asbury bubble, but he is a part of that, a huge part of the Asbury music scene.
Yeah, I think he's one of the newer class of artists that we started working with after we've kind of established, you know, what we're about and what we're doing. We've kind of like had this first generation of artists who kind of come on board and help us really launch this thing. And now like artists like Jared, you know, he hit me up as he was looking to move here, and really he was talking to me about it for a while, and just like, let's work on some music together. He started his band, and we've just really been like guiding that process of what that album could be like for him, and make sure it's the best that it could be in the long haul, because there, not to say that there's a little bit of pressure on that, but you know, a lot of eyes are definitely looking at what's this kid going to put out, you know, and I know I'm honored to get, you know, Fern even to help a little influence in the studio and just give some advice or pointers from a songwriting perspective, because Jared's kind of young, like we have opportunity to help guide him a little bit and make sure he's as successful as he can be.
Yeah, like what Joe was saying, like the important thing is to like just give people a creative space and to create an outlet that you don't have to feel the time crunch. That's like a big thing with working with us. It's never like, okay, session's done at 7. If you want to go an extra hour, it's an extra 125 an hour. And like we strip that away, and it just lets you like, you want to book the room? If you want to book the room and just watch cartoons with us, all right, sure. But if you want to work and you want to like, you know, experiment and try and like, maybe we delete this song in 2 weeks, like that's fine. We want to be a creative space. And I think that's like one of the most important things that we can do with an artist like Jared and all the other artists that are like up and coming, like Lake Champagne and like these younger ones, and like a Malibu and Flourish, where we can give them the space to be themselves and not feel that crunch, not feel like we have to get this song done by the end of the session. Right. We just want people to feel comfortable, and we want to create with them. I love being in the room and just, you know, throwing my 2 cents in or taking my 2 cents out, or just falling asleep on the couch as everyone else is working and just hearing the vibe. Like, it's all about the energy in the room. And that's what we try to provide right now, especially being an indie label. Like, we want people to feel they have control of their music. There's a safe space for them to create.
And we've had artists that are just like, some come in ready to, you know, cut the song. They've got all their parts imagined and everything's fully fleshed out, right? Like from the get-go, and it's easy. Like the Hell Yeah Babies, when they came down, they knew, you know, as a whole band what they were coming in to do. Whereas other bands, you know, they want to get into the studio and explore the space and create something fresh and new, and then right from there. And it's like, you got to provide that opportunity for both sides of the creative spectrum there. And I think we do that pretty well.
I think that's an interesting point about the creative spectrum when I look at this label, because most indie labels have a distinct sound. When you think of a Discord Records, you know it's very punk. You think of Sub Pop back in the day, it was very grunge. When I look at Telegraph Hill, I can't pinpoint it and say, well, is it more of the Sirius XMU channel, or is it more of this rock label, or is it a little bit of it? It's such a hodgepodge, and it's an interesting hodgepodge. The one thing I will say that sort of connects everybody, there's a pop sensibility, which I did not expect with the label. I really didn't. But the more you listen to all these artists, it's like, okay, one could be R&B, one could be, actually, I think you lean a little bit country. And I think the Nashville influence comes out in your music. So you come with a different angle to what everybody else is doing. But when it all is said and done in the end, big hooks, pop sensibility. So you're not the traditional indie label in that sense. It's not one sound.
Yeah, that's very accurate.
What would you say is Asbury Park, you know? What's the genre of the Jersey Shore?
It's all over the map now. I think, and Pom, I think this is the best way to describe it. Where it has gone from, say, the 70s and 80s and even in the 90s, it seems like the 2K to 2010 generation, that's where the change happened in Asbury Park. It is so many different, more of a melting pot than it's ever been before.
Yeah, sure. And that's what we want at Casper.
Yeah. You're also seeing a pretty explosion. You're talking about pop. Well, one of the biggest most listened to genres of music right now is hip hop, and you can't ignore that. That's kind of taken over Asbury too. There's a lot of artists, even on the pop side of things, that are dabbling in those realms and stuff, and looking to incorporate some of those sounds of like the trap hip hop's drums or things into their pop tracks, synths, like all this. It's really making a wave over here, and I think like even it's coming through our music. Some of these bands, like you have Bobby Mahoney, we're adding synths to these tracks, we're adding keys, we're layering these things in the studio because, you know, especially during this time, there's no shows to really focus on, like, you know, pulling off this song live. It's not even really they're not focused on that. They're focused on, let's make the best record, you know, and that's what you want in the studio.
We will talk about Bobby Mahoney. We will talk about what it's like during the pandemic to be an artist and deal with all this stuff. But now I put the pressure on Ashley. Since I have you here, you look pretty ready. I'm going to give the spotlight to you here. So with that in mind, this is Telegraph Hill recording artist Ashley McKinley. And this is the first time I get to say, here's somebody performing live on the A Game. Ashley, it's all you.
Sweet. That's cool. I'm the first one.
You are?
Live. All right, well, this is a new song I wrote. It's called The Days Back Then. Can you guys hear me okay? I often go back in my mind, thinking about Halloween time, when the air was crisp and fresh, hoping to win best dress. Hands freezing and my friends taking their best chance to get all the candy they can. Those were the days back then. If only we could hit rewind, all the treasures we'd find. Our first house right on the beach. You said ask mom to marry me, and we were younger, facing every thought, or still we stand hand in hand. And those were the days back then. Can't help but to defend where you come from, you and life is a labyrinth. If you remember, if I could hold time in my hands, I would never open them. I keep those memories close to me, with all of the days and all those summers in Belmead, learning to act on George Street, getting in those old canoes, Grandpa whistling, we were younger, dreaming up my life under city lights. You hoped I'd find, yeah, those are the days back then. I still remember you said for them. And all of the days back then. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Draw your lines in the sand. Always do the best you can. Remember when Mom and Dad were your best friends? Oh, if I could hold time in my hands, I would never open them. Keep those memories so close to me. Yeah, with all the days back then.
Ooh. Not ending on the one chord. Hells yeah. Nice.
Can you
Okay.
tell that Vern understands music where it's like going and some people go, what does he mean by the one chord? What do you mean he's not in on the one chord?
Well, like there's like the chord that's like the home chord, and like not ending on it just kind of leaves it a little unresolved, which is really nice, especially for a hook where it's like the days back then kind of deal. So like you leave it unresolved. That's just really nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Beautiful
Thanks
stuff.
for having me play.
Oh, no, thank you for doing that. What's it like as an artist right now as far as everything with the pandemic? I mean, can you remember the last time you actually played out live? Because I would imagine everything has been more virtual performance or virtual performance there.
Yeah, it's definitely really weird. It's definitely made me look at how much of my identity I put into performing and being an artist. So for a while there, I think I felt a little lost and like a little far from myself, but we do have some venues open, like some bars, and I have played a few shows. I just got my second COVID vaccine, so I'm about to get out there.
There you go.
But yeah, it's weird. It's kind of like lonely. Like I miss my playing. I miss my life, you know.
And Matt, we can say the same for you. You got a band called the Foes of Fern, so you understand from being out there, and you've been trying to get back out there. Has it been kind of difficult to kind of get a jump back started where it's like, we've been off for so many months, and now all of a sudden, okay, let's get back on the road. How do we do this? Do we remember how to do this? Because it's different than just shooting a video. You know what I mean?
That's a great point, dude. Yeah, like I've been lucky-ish where I've done a lot of the band live stream shows, and I've recorded a couple singles with my band, and I've played a couple outside full band performances too. So like the band and I are like we're actually kind of tighter than we have been in a while.
Nice.
But what I do miss is just jumping on stage on a random night, even like not even being super rehearsed, just playing with some guys that I've never met before, and just like, all right, here's a gig. There's 40 people in the audience. We're hanging in a small bar. Let's throw these tunes out. Like that's the kind of player I was. That's the kind of person I was. I love just kind of jumping up, like picking up an instrument and just kind of playing the gig. I'm kind of doing that Thursday. I got a gig in AC with that company We Star. There's like a couple limited tickets, and it's a live stream. So if you want to like come and like see the live stream production, you can. But I got a gig there, and I've never played with the drummer before, so it's like a new drummer. It's Craig from Des and the Swagmatic, so he kills. It's going to be great. But it's just, I'm excited for that energy. I'm excited for that, you know, not feeling safe on stage where anything can happen. Like I have to listen to the drummer. The drummer doesn't know all the things that I normally do. He has to watch me. It's very reactive music. So I'm excited for that. And then I have a gig Friday in Asbury Park at the Wonder Bar with Natalie Farrell. And that's more of a structured, I've played with these guys forever, and these are the songs that we've done. So it's going to be nice doing that again. But nah, dude, I have not felt like myself. I used to be this guy that would play music and travel all this time. And now I'm just this guy that put on 40 pounds and like plays chess all the time. That's all that I am now.
Chess, though.
Before I did other things. Now that's all I do is play chess and eat ice cream, and I don't like that person. I want to go back to.
Doesn't count as other things, Fern.
Yeah, well, exactly. Hold on a second. I'm challenging Fern because I got the Queen's Gambit right in front of me here, pal. Let's go.
Love that show. Yeah, dude. Love chess. Love that show. But to answer your question, yeah, dude, do not feel like myself. Right. Would love to get back to that life. But I have been lucky because I have been able to perform a lot with my different bands, with Natalie, with Little Hag, another group that I play with, and with the Foes of Fern.
I was gonna say there's been a couple key promoters that have popped up. Fern mentioned over this time that I've been doing cool live
so
stream
true.
events. And We Start Production has been one. They let us perform in the House of Independence, the Carousel, most importantly, where we got to record and produce some videos there with even some different bands. Asbury Sunset Presents is another one that's done.
Tim rules. Love Tim.
Set up live streams in the Watermark, which we got to play, and I think that might have been one of the most fun faux shows that has been ever in existence. Like, we were running around all over the set. And I call it a set because it felt like a TV set, not a stage.
Yeah, there's 6 cameras on it. So it was
at
cool.
the wall.
Yeah,
but yeah, we were just like having fun that set, and like it was weird because we're like, is this right? It's the pandemic. Like we're just, and no one's here. Like, but we're goofing off. Like, it just felt weird.
But it was enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the bands, I was about to say, with some of the bands that we're talking about, I want to refer to the website, Telegraph Hill Records website, to find out more about all the bands that are being mentioned here, from the Foes of Fern to our guest, Ashley McKinley, who's here with us, and to Natalie Farrell, who has been mentioned. And as I stepped on you, Pom, finish your thought, please.
I was just gonna, I guess, mention that we also did a couple events where we did at the end of the year. We did a crazy live stream event, 2 nights, 2 different venues, at the Wonder Bar. I mean, it's usually at the Wonder Bar. We had to move because they couldn't, have all those people in and out, and they just we moved to the lanes because we also could have a side stage at the Danny Clinch Gallery where we had an acoustic act. So that was a lot of fun too. But it's a big undertaking to do these productions, and they're really, it's not just having a show anymore. You're gonna have a video crew and a whole, there's 2 sound engineers because someone's got to mix the audience, because there's a component of people that are coming to the show still, which are lucky to have just a safe, limited audience.
Right.
And that helps with the performances. But then
it helps so much.
The sound has to be, especially like it's being recorded. So, it's documented. So it has to be on point.
Which makes videos now more important than ever. I think we've seen more artists create videos, even if it's just something simple, just to get it out there on YouTube, just to get something out and say, well, we can't tour, we really can't perform unless we do it virtually. But if we get the video out there, maybe it gets a few thousand hits, gets a few hundreds of thousands of hits, and at least it's like, okay, we're going to stay relevant this way. Agreed?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly, like, we're putting out a lot more content like that. And also for me personally, my first round of videos, I did an album and I released 6 music videos, and we took them really seriously. I think we're kind of stepping back and we're allowing ourselves to joke more with us. We're doing more skits and comedy and like not having as much pressure, and it's coming off nice too.
And this is something I want to recommend because I know there's a lot of film festivals now that are doing more of the videos. I give props to the Garden State Film Festival that actually have a category called Best Music Video. So it really shows you the importance of what the music videos become, even though there's technically not a channel running videos. Oh, all right. So MTV's never coming on my podcast. All right.
No, HYB. That's right.
HYB, the Hell Yeah Babies. They a monthly music video stream, and you get like 25 different indie like music videos, and in between that they have really hilarious skits, and they're really killing it, man. They really are.
Yeah, you know what? I may have to talk to them and be like, going, look, I DJ'd for a living. We can have some fun with this.
Yeah, they would love that. Just your voice. They would use your voice on all their voiceovers. It would be
I would not
good.
have a problem with that. Be honored. Absolutely. Yeah. This is the brain trust of Telegraph Hill Records here on the A Game. Let's fire up another video. I'll wait on Bobby Mahoney because, Fern, you did mention that Natalie Farrell will be playing with you very shortly on Friday night. So the Wonder Bar in Asbury Park. If you're in the Asbury Park area, get tickets. There is limited seating, so you get to get your tickets in advance. Visit the Wonder Bar website and find out more as we try to get into more normalcy. We're starting to see smaller shows pop up, which is great to see. Natalie is somebody who channels her inner Amy Winehouse. There's no denying it. The minute you hear her song, you are going to swear. Close your eyes a little bit. Channel Amy. Because I'll tell you something. It's a beautiful thing. I miss Amy Winehouse. If you miss her style of music, you're going to love what you're about to hear. Let's give you Exhale. This is Natalie Farrell from Telegraph Hill Records. You're hearing it here on the A Game.
That's why I'm here to say
Good stuff from Natalie Farrell here on the A Game. The guys from Telegraph Hill Records who have founded this label and continue to put out some great music from so many great artists. Matt Fernicola, Joe Pomarico. They are still here as we talk about the future of the label. I want to bring out a very interesting point that people should know about independent music. In 2017, sales of indie music accounted for 34% of the sales of music in general in the globe. Something to keep in mind when you think about music. Where is the new music coming from? It's coming from the indie labels. Something to think about. And that's the hope where Fern and Palm are trying to develop this label and continue to develop it and try to get bigger and better and stronger. And do you ever think to yourself, it's like, because I've seen your roster, you have a lot of great artists, and I don't want to give props to Des and the Swagmatics because they're another band that is very funk and R&B, so it shows the diversity of the label. Do you ever think to yourself, these are all our children. How are we going to be able to get all of our children to get to the next level?
Oh man, I think it's a really, for me it's a thing where like everyone just kind of keeps on pushing each other up.
Right.
So it's like there's no shortness of success. If Des and the Swagmatics does well, then like my band, the Foes of Fern, will do well. If my band does well, Malibu will do well. If Malibu does well, Jared does well. Like we all lift each other up. We're just trying to like show that this is the content that we make. This is the quality of that content, and come enjoy yourselves with us. Our shows are fun. Our events are fun. Like come be a part of the energy. So that's the way at least I feel like it works in my head.
Yeah, it starts from just being a place of being a fan of these artists too, and loving their music and just wanting to support it in any way that we can. How much great music is there out there that we all constantly listen to? Like, how do you choose what's your favorite? You know, it's really tough. There's, especially now when you can literally access anything in your pocket. But it's great that indie artists are able to get to the pockets of everybody through apps like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. You could literally at the fingertips pull up the latest Foes of Fern song. You should check it out on Spotify, YouTube right now. If We Were Ska, upcoming album maybe one day, I don't know. Yeah,
that was a great plug, by the way.
Oh, that just happened. I don't know what came over me. It must have been the fourth wave of ska.
No. Understand something. You run a record label. You're part salesman. You know that.
True.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah, if you need a guest host.
Hey, you never know. Once in a while, I always try to bring in a guest host. I mean, you kind of are my guest host today, which is
well. How about that intro music? Maybe Fern can compose something. We'll record a little single. Get Ashley on it.
There it is.
Never stop creating. That's a really good point. Never, ever.
Fern's a good jingle writer.
I've written a jingle or two. Yeah.
Whatever it takes to bring in some cash, man, do it, you know?
Yeah. I definitely did them for free because I'm not the smartest person. But yeah, I've written a couple jingles before.
We need to talk here, sir. We really need to talk. You're giving away too much, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to give a quick plug here. That this is not something you organize, but you are involved in. It is Asbury Parkade that's happening on the 20th of this month. It is an online event, asburybanda.com. Some of your acts are a part of this, so that's a really cool thing. By the way, proceeds of this event are going to Jersey Shore artists, musicians, and the industry leaders that support them. So it's a really good cause. And I'm actually surprised we're not seeing this pop up across the country more and more because what people don't realize is that most musicians are trying to keep a second job and a third job. Not everybody can keep their second job or third job. So their first job as a musician, like, got kind of taken away from them. So, you know, the arts are very important to everybody. I think we all would love to get back into this norm where we can go, let's say, to the Stone Pony Summer Stage, but there's 4,000 people, and we have a great show. We have a good time. So think about that as we're getting closer to normal. But think about how everybody over the last year has been struggling to try to find normal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there is no normal anymore. Normal is whatever you make it. It lives in your own head and nowhere else, man.
It's good thinking, actually, man.
The new normal.
Yeah. But that event, it looks really cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have a couple of our artists playing it. And besides that, it's just the people that organized it. It looks awesome. It looks like it's going to be a good time. I remember seeing the flyer. I'm like, this is rad. This is really cool.
I remember actually
the date sticks out. Nice old 420.
Yeah.
Well, you saw last
Hello.
summer we had.
Thank you very much. Anyway, sorry.
We had like a whole bunch of I saw on stories bands filming something in the Stone Pony, and it was like all over the last year. What's up with the Stone Pony? Like, can anybody book a show there, or is anything gonna happen? Are they gonna have shows eventually? Because like you see the Wonder Bars coming back and different things, but like something happened there, and this was it. They filmed all these bands just in the venue, and it's going to be exciting to see because like you haven't seen anything from that venue in over a year.
I know.
Yeah, that's a really good point, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like bands like Bobby, Dez, Jared, like they're all on that, and like those are some of the cream of like you think the Stone Pony Classic, like it's going to be good.
Absolutely, and more props to Kyle Brundle and everybody at the Stone Pony. We're looking forward to seeing you back in business. And
Kyle's great, dude.
Kyle was on this couch once.
Yeah, he's good on that couch.
Studio, yeah, one time.
Yeah, he's now starting to go. Wait a minute, Kyle was sitting here. Wait a minute, what?
Well, I think it was here.
Oh, sitting there.
I feel so honored.
Yeah, no, he's a crazy dude, man. I love that guy. He's all over the place, but in the best way.
Yeah, absolutely. And to all the venues, ranging from the Stone Pony National Park to the Troubadour in California, to all the venues that are trying to get back. We look forward to seeing everybody being back in business and being back where live music can reign supreme again. I think we all are just hoping for that day. And maybe here on the East Coast, maybe the big kickoff could be See Here Now on the beach in September. That would be a wonderful thing.
Cool.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that.
Hey, and then the following weekend is now Firefly.
Yeah, I heard
September
Firefly
is like festival month, and then I think Bonner is at the beginning of September.
Yes.
So that's just like get your vaccines for September and hit all the festivals.
Let's go.
Absolutely. Ashley, before I wrap up, when are we going to see a video or new music from you? Do we have a date yet, or are we still kind of working on things here?
So I'm making an EP right now. I have a prospective date is end of summer.
Okay.
And then,
Whenever that is.
we got one song done.
And
Yeah.
You're done with school this May?
I'm done with school in June.
June. Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll be kind of like post-grad
Post-grad.
EP.
Yes.
Nice.
There we go. From the upcoming EP entitled Post Grad, here's Ashley.
All the mistakes I've made. Thank you.
Look
8 years in college later. Thank you.
I think Rick Barry has that song. All My Mistakes Have Names. I think that's what it is. It's a beautiful song.
Right.
Yeah.
And she said 8 years of college. I'm like, going, you outlasted Blutarski from Analyze. He did 7 years of college. Wait a minute.
There it is.
Very educated. I'll just say that.
There you go. Can I have photo one more time? I want to get the logo back up here because I still think it's one of the coolest logos of ever. It's Telegraph Hill Records. Go to their website. Find out not only about the bands on the website, but also about the swag that they have available. They have T-shirts. They have hats. Let's get the logo out there and, show it off. Show it off there because I tell you right now, you wear it, people talk about it. And that's where I want to get the merchandising out there for you guys. For sure.
Thank you, Rob. Yeah, dude, this has been great, man. I really appreciate you having us on, man. It's been
No
awesome.
problem. As we get ready to wrap up, one more video. I've enjoyed playing DJ today. It's been so long. Oh, my God. Give me a little rundown of Bobby Mahoney and the Seventh Son because Bobby just looks like a rock star. Plain and simple.
He totally is.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude knows how to fucking rock and roll. The couple of shows we've had over the quarantine that he's been a part of outside, I remember he just jumps up on like the subwoofer and he's like rocking up a speaker, and it's so funny because it's a live stream, so the cameras are set. And it just pops out of
goes
the
off
shots
stage.
someone
Yeah.
scrambling and moving.
And then we're running like, move the camera.
Yeah. And I think he knows he's doing it on purpose. He's a little punk like that. I love that kid. Yeah, Bobby's a good guy, and his whole band, man, they're fun to work with in the studio. I gotta say, this EP that we're working on now it's gonna be a really good project. I think it's like a really good sound for him to put out in this time, and I don't know, just really excited to see him like come out with a rock and roll show again, like fully, like and promote with this new music because he's been tinkering with these songs, but they haven't had that full real life living breathing moment yet, and it's going to be cool to finally see that.
And it's just been fun the way that it's come about because Bobby has not come to the studio. Like they did all the tracking, most of the tracking in advance, and then now they're doing like Pom has this like program that lets you like video chat as you're mixing. You can hear the mix in real time.
Sort of,
yeah.
Mixing
cool.
over Zoom and different platforms. Tinkering to see what's the best audio quality and experience for people. But it's cool because like I'm able to then sit at the computer and look forward at the screen instead of having people over my shoulder, like while I'm mixing and like commenting. And I feel like it's almost, I interact with people more that way. It's great.
And
And
then
we
you
get
can
some good work done because everyone's listening on headphones. And
Let me ask you both then. Is this sort of the wave of the future now where it's sort of that you don't necessarily have to have the engineer in the studio with you? Now it could be something like, okay, you can record here, send it over here. I can mix it here and literally take advantage of, like, we use StreamYard, which is similar to Zoom, and take advantage of the technology. Yeah, okay, so you understand. So you take advantage of the technology, and it sounds like it's making it easier for you to make a record.
Yeah, but it's also like you can't devalue the energy you get from being in the room with someone too. So you don't want to take that away too much, but you don't need it all the time, man. There's no reason to drive an hour, 10 times to get the record done. If you feel comfortable, it's all about your creative process. If like you as an artist feel comfortable just listening in and then coming in once in the room and doing like the really minute stuff like that works for me. Like it's what works for everyone.
Yeah, sometimes like I'll spend a lot of time editing or just mixing things. It's kind of like you want to all come and sit behind me and like do what, So it makes more sense sometimes. Even Andrew from the Seven Sons, like we're gonna keep this Zoom mix, right? Because like then we can just like all tune in from home, and it's almost better for some things, but you definitely can't recreate getting the energy of everybody in the room together. And that's one of the things that I've been like priding myself on is recording. Not now that we haven't been in a studio, I've been able to like recreate that in my home basement again. And I think one testament, which we didn't really touch on, this artist that we started working with, he's an artist I met over the pandemic, but you want to talk about legacy. We've been working with Alexander Simone and Who Dat, and he is the grandson of Nina Simone, another legendary artist. And when we got them in the studio one night for the first time and cut like 4 or 5 songs. Fern was there, sleeping on the couch as usual.
Sleeping on the couch,
and it was that energy in the room, the band dynamic playing off of each other naturally. No click track, nothing. We did maybe 2 takes of this one song, "Push On," which is out. It was on the volume compilation, volume 3. Just the band dynamic, like you can't recreate that when they're not in the same room. It really just isn't. It's magic,
What I'd like to do is invite you guys back in a few months because we only touched on about 4 of the artists. We can do another session. We'll spotlight. I want to learn more about Mr. Simone here. We got to learn more about that. So we'll spotlight again because I don't want to feel like I've dissed some of the artists on the label. So
no, it's impossible to talk about everyone.
Exactly.
But it's like what I said earlier. If one of us gets a little farther in life, it just brings us all together. It's a collective thing. And like for us, it's just about putting out dope music that we like. And Alex is putting out great music, and I can throw out everyone. And we're not working with anyone that we're not excited about the music for.
That's great to hear. Yeah. Guys, continue great luck with the label. Ashley, look forward to the EP when it's ready. We're going to wrap it up right here with Bobby Mahoney and the Seventh Son. The song is called Nothing for Nothing. For the Brain Trust of Telegraph Hill Records, for Ashley McKinley, I'm Rob Acampora. The A-Game is back on Thursday night, 7 o'clock with Constantine Maroulis. Don't miss out. It's been a blast. Once again, Bobby Mahoney and the Seven Sons, Nothing for Nothing.
From the hurt and gone. falls apart. What'll be on your mind in the dark? High by